Let's get to a fight we were all super fucking excited about that we forgot about it. Actually, we are. I'm excited as fuck about it. We're supposed to get at UFC 205. Robbie Lawler said he couldn't take that fight that date because he just got knocked out by Tyron Woodley. And then it was supposed to happen at UFC 213, but good old Donald Cerrone had a blood infection. Now we got both guys in town. They're gonna throw down Donald Cerrone against Robbie Lawler at 170 pounds. This fight looks fun as hell, but it's hard to pick. I'm having a hard time picking. I'm gonna be like last second pick for sure right now, but. I'm excited as fuck about it. Who you picking there, Fred?
First off, let me just take a minute to say to the MMA gods, please let this fight actually happen.
Yeah, seriously. We still got a couple days.
We've been known to get fucked on this shit at the last moment. If this, I was just thinking about this too, man. I keep talking about how great this card is, but it's so true. Between John Jones and DC, and even though Evanger's not the greatest of opponents, you also got Cyborg on the card.
Mm-hmm.
You literally probably have the baddest man and woman walking planet Earth on this card fighting. It's impressive shit, man. I mean, these are some bad motherfuckers on this card. This card is legit. And this fight is like, if all that has the prestige of you seeing these indestructible people there and fight, this is just one of those. There's no fucking way on earth this fight is boring, right?
Right.
There's just no way. Like, this is for sure fireworks. As long as these cats make it to the cage, this fucking fight will be extremely exciting. That being said, Robbie hasn't fought since the loss to Tyron, right?
Exactly.
Now, it's been, what, a year? A little over a year? It hasn't been too terribly long, has it? Little over a year.
A little over a year.
I think that's great. I think he had fought a little too much. He had been in too many wars. I think and Robbie's just such a veteran of the game. I think he needs a little time off. I think Robbie's going to come into this fight completely rejuvenated. And listen, I love Donald Cerrone. Aaron, I know won't watch this fight. Mr. Dr. Feelgood, that's one of his favorite fighters. But one thing about that cute cocksucker, he lets you down every time. And I love Cerrone. And I know that he's definitely a fight anybody, anywhere, any place type of guy. That being said, when he gets in a fight and he can't really hurt the other person, but they're hurting him, he tends to wilt quickly. And I could see that happening in this fight. Donald Cerrone's game is fucked, but other than the fucking quick thunder strike that Woodley gave to Robbie Lawler, he doesn't. I mean, look at the wars that he's been in. You know what I'm saying? The wars with Johnny Hendricks, the wars with fucking the war with Rory McDonald. He's been in some fucking war. Like, he's not going to quit. Yeah, Tyron Woodley fucking sent a lightning bolt through his chin, but short of that, and that's not really Donald's style. He's more of a diverse, eat you up, and then eventually he lands that big like head kick on you or something. But he sets that shit up, and I just think that Robbie's too crafty of a striker. He ain't gonna get set up like that. He did by Tyron, but again, that was just like kind of a one-hitter quitter. I think that Robbie's a better technical striker, and I think he's got more natural power too. Tie that in with the fact that Donald kind of quits when he gets hurt. I can see a world in which by the second or third round, Robbie's hurting Donald and finishes him with strikes like he does every fucking body. So Robbie Lawler's second round TKO, Jack.
Yeah, look, I'll go next, and then Jessica can wrap it up on this one. The way I see it, Robbie Lawler only loses when he gets knocked out, like finished, like knocked out, as we talked with Tyron Woodley, or he gets wrestle fucked. Donald Cerrone doesn't wrestle fuck people, and he doesn't really one-hit a quitter people the way that Tyron Woodley did, right? He does hurt you to the body and then take like the Rick Story fucking that final little sequence of strikes. Fucking, it was so sick. Someone made a Super Saiyan fucking gif out of it, which is legit as shit. But it was this beautiful kickboxing that Donald Cerrone was showing, right? That's not really going to happen against Robbie Lawler. But I think the fight's going to start off like this, right? Because it's 3 rounds. First round and a half to 2 rounds, it'll probably be pretty technical. Look, Robbie sets up, like he sets up his strikes with he sets them up. He's technical. Like his fights end up being brawls, or they look like it, but he's pretty fucking technical. Donald Cerrone, pretty fucking technical. It'll be technical for about a round and a half. and then I think it turns into a bloody brawl. But the one thing that makes me pick Robbie Lawler in this fight is exactly what you said, Fred, about Donald Cerrone. If you hurt him, he quits. Okay, he quits. Jorge Masvidal hurt him in that first round of their fight. And the second round, on the way in between fucking rounds, Jorge let him know about it, right? And then he finished him in the second round. So it's just one of those. And then, of course, it's the same question as always. Which Donald Cerrone are we getting? Are we getting the quick starter? Are we going to get the guy that takes forever to get started, and then loses to RDA? You know what I mean? That kind of shit. So I like Robbie Lawler. I love the fact that he took all this time off to get right. Okay. And I'm picking Robbie Lawler probably by decision, man. No, I take it back. It's gonna be like a third round, like TKO. I think it'll be that in that manner there. But I don't think this fight goes to the ground too much. There'll be a lot of clinching probably, but I don't think it'll be like too much wrestling. And I think Donald Cerrone has a black belt in jiu-jitsu, so it's I don't think either one wants to go to the ground anyway. But we'll see what happens. Jesse, who are you picking?
So Fred, you picked Lawler as well, correct? Is that what he picked?
I think so.
Okay, so I guess I'm the only one picking Cowboy here, and I'll tell you why. I think it's very telling when a coach that knows you very well is saying that you shouldn't have taken this fight, and that's one of the interviews out there. What's his name? Pat Miletich talked about that knockout that Robbie Lawler sustained, and it is just under a year actually. It's July 30th when he got knocked out last year. So we're barely under a year right here, but I just think that taking all the time off, still sparring and everything, I just don't think Robbie Lawler, he had his moment where his chin held up, and all the concussive brain damage didn't accumulate or was just accumulating, and I think now it's taking its toll. I don't think he's going to be able to survive what's going to happen here. I think it's going to be a knockout. Cerrone is going to knock him out either in the first or second round. And I think we're all going to look at this fight and question, what happened to Robbie Lawler's chin. And I think if we all take a quick moment to look back at his fights, we'll understand that that's where his chin went. I mean his fight with Roy McDonald, Carlos Condit, Johnny Hendricks twice, those fights, they took something out of Robbie Lawler each time. And it was the perfect time for Tyron Woodley to come in and hit him with a good shot and put him away. But I think a prime Robbie Lawler without any of those fights behind him, I don't think Tyron Woodley would be the champ at this point. I think Robbie Lawler would have survived that punch and been able to really put a beating on Tyron Woodley. So all that to say that I think Cowboy Cerrone is going to walk away with this either in the first or second round knockout.
Much like Kelvin Gastelum, after this fight, Donald Cerrone goes back to life.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Yeah.